Hey guys, Muncheez here and welcome to another Intro to Gacha Guide, and in this video we will go over the gear in a gacha game. So basically when you get your characters and things like that in a gacha game, you're going to want to equip them with gear generally, or they will have a weapon or some sort of card or accessory, anything that the developers decide to equip the characters that you get with. So in Star Rail, for example, you will have your gear from head to toe, and you'll have like a couple of accessories to go with it. Now, before I get into explaining how the gear exactly works, you have to understand RNG, and RNG is a random number generator, and the simplest thing I can compare it to is rolling some dice. So usually if a system is RNG based, it's purely luck based, and they will have percentages and things like that, but when it comes down to it, it's just all dependent on your luck. So now we're going to talk about the stat lines. Every piece of gear will have a main stat line. Some of these stat lines are unique to which slot it's in. So for example, you'll have a helm piece and the fixed stat on that will always be like HP or something like that. And then you'll have other pieces that will vary. You can roll speed as the main stat line, or crit damage or crit rate as the main stat line on it. But for the most part, every piece will have a main stat line. So as you are leveling the piece of gear, this stat line will always raise as you're leveling the gear. Now, as you follow my little red arrow around, the substats are always going to be random. So when the piece of gear drops, and these lines that are able to be put, these substat lines that are able to be put under the equipment, it depends on whatever the developer decides to put under it. Normally, they're all shared between the gear. This varies from game to game, but for the most part, your gear will have a main stat and substats. So these substats, when you get your gear, they are random. So you can get an HP main stat piece of gear with substats like HP percent, attack percent, crit damage, and crit rate on it. And as you can see here, some of the gear is assigned like a quality. So it'll either be like by color or stars. It'll go anywhere between like common, which is like a gray or white color, and it'll go sometimes green, blue, purple, legendary, what have you, just depending on what the developers decide to put in. Now, as you're doing this, lower ranked items will have a chance to fill substat slots while you're leveling them. So once they hit like a certain breakpoint, I believe in this game it's level 6. So I'll do this as an example for you guys. As you're enhancing your gear, if it is a lower quality weapon, you will unlock lines as you hit like certain breakpoints in the levels. So as you can see, it says new, and I got a new line there. The difference between the lower quality and the higher quality items is the higher quality items will already have these substat slots filled. So as you're upgrading it, it'll just choose one of the lines there to upgrade it. So you have a higher value from your substat lines. And last but not least, you are going to have set bonuses. Normally with gear and accessories like that, they could either put them together or split them apart. So you'll have these set bonuses, which will, depending on how many pieces of the same set you wear, will grant you bonuses to your character that you are equipping them to. So for example, this is an ice set. So I would want to give this to an ice elemental based character and give them the highest possible bonus from the gear that they're equipping and using. So in short, you will farm a piece of gear. It will have a main stat line that is fixed on the gear, and then you will have substat lines. And as you are upgrading the gear, the main stat line will always upgrade, whereas your substat lines, whenever you hit a level breakpoint, whatever the developer set it to, may it be 3 or 5 every levels. And then when you hit either that 3 or 5, you will either unlock a new line depending on the rarity of the gear, or you will upgrade one of the existing lines on the gear itself already, and this is all luck-based. So if you are rolling for a new line on a piece of gear, for example, it'll randomly pick the line that's on there. Some games let you choose if they have that system in there or change them. And if you already have all the lines, say on a high-quality piece of gear, it will roll between the 4 lines. So generally you have a 25% chance to hit it on the one that you want, or a 50% chance to hit it if it has 2 lines that you want, if that makes sense, if there are 4 existing substat lines. But generally that is how gearing works in gacha games. Hopefully this video was helpful for you if you are a beginner to a gacha game and you're trying to figure things out. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and sub on your way out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.